The House That Eats Time, Part 2, The Forgotten Ones. Daniel stood frozen, the newspaper trembling in his hands. 2087. His mind refused to accept it. His family, his friends, everyone he knew was either old or dead. A sharp voice pulled him from his thoughts. Hey, you okay, sir? Daniel turned to see a teenage girl with neon blue hair staring at him from behind the newspaper stand. She looked concerned, until she got a good look at his clothes. Whoa, vintage, she muttered. Where'd you get that outfit? Daniel swallowed hard. His shirt, his jeans, even his shoes, were from another time. He opened his mouth to speak but hesitated. If he told the truth, she'd think he was insane. Oh, I just got into town, he lied. Haven't been here in a while. The girl smirked. Yeah, no kidding. You look like my grandpa's old photos. She glanced over her shoulder nervously. Look, if you need help, there's a shelter down the street. The city's not exactly safe at night. Daniel nodded and walked away, heart pounding. Not safe at night. What did that mean? As he moved through the city, the changes became more obvious. Buildings had holographic billboards, drones zipped through the air, and people wore sleek, futuristic clothing. But beneath all the neon and metal, something felt wrong. Shadows stretched too long in the alleys. The streetlights flickered, struggling against an unnatural darkness. And everywhere he went, he saw posters. Have you seen them? Below the text were dozens of faces. Men, women, children. The missing. But the dates beneath their photos chilled him to the bone. Some were from last week. Some were from years ago. Some were from over a century before. Daniel's stomach twisted. He recognized one of the names. Lena Carter, disappeared, October 3, 1924. His heart pounded. That was impossible. If Lena Carter had gone missing in 1924, how could her face be on a recent poster? Then, a whisper slithered through his mind. They're still inside. Daniel spun around. The city seemed quieter now. The air heavier. Then, he saw it. The house. It stood at the end of a narrow street, wedged between two towering skyscrapers. It hadn't changed at all, the same rotting wood, the same dark windows. And yet, no one noticed it. People walked past without looking. Cars drove by without hesitation. It was like the house didn't exist. Daniel's hands curled into fists. He wasn't the only one this had happened to. There were others. And if Lena Carter's face was still on that poster, she was still in there. A sharp breath escaped his lips. He had a choice. He could try to move on, except that 60 years had been stolen from him. Or he could go back inside, and face whatever was waiting. Daniel took a step forward. Then another. And as he reached the front door, the air crackled with electricity. The doorknob was warm. Somewhere deep inside, something stirred. It knew he was back. And this time, it was waiting.